evening, welcome to the Derby Debrief from RamsTV. Owen Bradley with former Derby defender Shaun alongside, here to bring you a reaction to another Derby County League One victory. It's 5 league wins in a row for the Rams now. A 3-0 victory at Leyton Orient this afternoon takes Derby 5th in the table within 6 points of the leaders. We'll take you through all the results and the table a little later in the programme. Reaction to come from the camp, including boss Paul Warne shortly. But we'll start with Berks, as we always do. Some major incidents to talk about. The red card we will get to. But Derby getting goals from Louis Sibley, Nathaniel Mendes-Lang and Tom Barkhuizen as well. And it's another victory, Shaun. Another victory. They keep on coming. We've talked about momentum, we've talked about consistency, and at the moment we're getting both. It doesn't matter about the performance at times, it matters about getting 3 points, getting the wins, keeping this run rolling. Obviously the sending off today made a key, it was a key factor to the game, but they did what they had to do. They were professional, there was some decent performances, and we come away from home with another 3 points. And in those big moments, those crucial moments, Derby had the quality, both ends of the pitch. They did. I thought Orient were bright in the first 15-20 minutes, and it looked like it might be quite a close game. There was not too much between the two for long spells in the first 45 minutes, apart from the key moments and the key areas, and we always looked the more threatening. We had the better chances. Colo missed a couple. There's a couple of opportunities that we didn't take, but as soon as Sibs gets the goal, it was a really good goal as well from Louis Sibley, you just felt that we had enough to win the game. The sending off, of course, changes the complexion of the game. It was a clear red card, even though from our original view it looked very harsh. And the second they have to chase with 10 men, it makes it that little bit easier. But second half we got the goals that we needed to. Bits could have been better, there's no doubt about it. We could have maybe been a bit more aggressive to not let them have any sort of say in the game, but we did exactly what we needed to do. Got 3 goals, got the clean sheet and the 3 points. More from Berks in a moment or two. Let's get some reaction from Brisbane Road. Here's the Derby boss, Paul Warne.
Obviously pleased, you're in it to win games. It's nice the lads are in good fettle. They're good friends on and off the pitch, and I just think you play better like that, and I feel like there's a real confidence building, and wins give you that, and back to back, and we rode our luck. First 10 minutes I thought we could have conceded, and you need that to win games. I've been saying that for ages as well, so we probably had our bit of luck early in the game, but then I thought we were handsome for the win. So yeah, really pleased. Managed to get a lot of players off the pitch, get a lot of players on the pitch, but I was conscious of getting James off the pitch because he was 1 booking away from suspension, and obviously a bit harsh. Conor Houlihan got a booking early in the game as well, so it was just nice. No injuries, no massive issues. Obviously Tom Barkhuizen scored a screamer as well, so it was a really good day at the office. Although I do think that, I'm not saying I want utopia, but we could have played better in a lot of parts of the game. But it's just about winning, and if you come here away from home or anywhere away from home and you keep a clean sheet and you win, you can't have too many complaints. But we'll still learn from it. We still need to get better because that level of performance I don't think's enough.
What did you like about the performance? And clearly you feel that there's still room for improvement, and naturally.
Well, I like the fact that we won, and I like the fact that we scored goals and we created many chances. And I like the fact that, like our third goal, we're breaking and we have another one like that on a counter attack, and I can see 5 or 6 of my players running like bullseye off. What's that Pixar film? Anyway, Toy Story. That's it. So like running like the wind. I like that. I like to see an energy in our play. I just thought we were a little bit soft at times, and I just didn't think at times, and only at a few times, we just didn't move the ball quick enough or pick the right pass. On another day, it might not have been enough to win, and on another day, if you do pick the right pass, we could have been even in more control. But generally, really good. We looked pretty solid, so that's what pleased me the most. I think we looked energetic. We got through. We're sort of a little bit low on numbers, but that's no excuse. And I thought the lads performed at a level. But to be successful, we need to keep aspiring to the level above that.
Louis Sibley opened the scoring, cracking strike.
Yeah, I'm glad he scored, because if he didn't score he'd have been in deep, because he could have put birdie in. So I knew you knew I was going to say that. So yeah, really pleased for Sibbs. You know, he had different roles. If it was a 3 at the back or if it was a 4 at the back, what position he was a 10 or an 8, and the same with the wide players. They had different roles today because sometimes they attack with a 3. Midfielder slips inside the pitch, so there's a lot of information, and I thought the lads dealt with that pretty well, and I thought Sibbs was a handful. So I was pleased for Sibbs, and he was one of many of the good performers.
What were your thoughts on the red card, and how did that change things from your perspective?
Well, at the time I thought it was a foul, but I have the benefit of an iPad on the side of the pitch. So we, obviously watched it again, and the lad has swung his arm and has caught Colo in the face, and his teeth cost a couple of quid, so he was devastated. So he has caught him. I'm not saying he intended to do it, but I think it's fair to say that is a red card. If it was my player, I wouldn't try and defend that, because it's just. So it was a red card, and it obviously changed it a little bit at half time in the fact that we need to keep manoeuvring the ball. And in fairness, I've played against 10 men loads of times as a player and as a coach, and it gives them weirdly a bit of freedom. That's not the right word, but it takes the pressure off them. They're the home side, 10 men. Their probably intention then is to stay in the game as long as they can, try and get a set piece and all that. So it's relief. It was relief for us when we scored our second goal so soon. We done our best to mess that up. A few passes went astray, didn't it? It won't be someone at home watching that tonight going, "Wow, that is quality play." But the intention was right, but we messed it up a little bit. And then, luckily for us, Connor tidied it up with the perfect way to pass. And now the form he's in, you fancy him, and. That was, not game over, I don't mean it that disrespectfully, but it felt more comfortable at 2-0, quite obviously.
With the form that Nat's in at the moment, like you mentioned there, when the ball comes to him and it's an opportunity, you really do back him to score. He's in a real strong groove at the moment, it feels. Yeah,
he's training well. We're trying to manage everything about him to keep him at that highest point. And he made a great run off Nelson's ball first half, touching it. He had another one second half, and he's a real goal threat, and if I could play him as a 9, as an 11, and as a 7 at the same time, I would. I really like pace in my team and make defenders scared, really, and he's one of them. And every player brings something different, but I think Nat brings a real threat because when he's on song, he can embarrass many players.
Paul Warne there. More from that interview for you on the website and on YouTube a little bit later. dcfc.co.uk is the place to go for that. Just on Nathaniel Mendes-Lang, now joint leader in League One this season, 4 assists with 6, 5 goals as well in the league, which isn't bad. We'll come back to him, Shaun. But let's sort of start at the beginning with the goal from Louis Sibley half an hour in, playing in a more central, more attacking role than we've maybe seen him at times, and I do wonder a little bit whether that's partly because of the personnel that Paul Warne had available today, but he showed what he can do with that finished bottom corner.
Yeah, well, we see glimpses of his quality. I don't think it'll be the first time to say it's just that consistency with him. He's got that little bit older, a little bit more experienced than we. The expectation of him delivering more consistently is going to be the one thing that holds him back, and he has his moments, and he always seems to impress on his first game back or his first opportunity, and then it's sustaining that for long periods. And I thought he played well. I thought there was bits where he was landing on second balls centrally, he was driving. There was a couple of moments in the first half where he showed his ability to get past players. But it was a really good finish, and it was a finish that was probably needed at that point because there wasn't a huge amount between the two teams. And like the manager said there, if he didn't play it to birdie, it had to hit the back of the net, and he made sure it did.
Derby actually had a couple of other good chances. James Collins getting both of them, and I think the first one in particular, he will admit he should have scored. But how big of a moment was the sending off? Brandon Cooper, throwing an elbow, and as Paul Warne alluded to there, we've seen the replay, and if you're watching this show back on YouTube from Sunday morning 8 o'clock, you'll be able to see the replays as we talk about them as well. On first view, we can't see it, but that second angle, Cooper's got no excuses, has he?
Well, we said it must be different from a different view because the fourth spotted it, I believe. He was within 10 yards of him. From our angle, it didn't really look like a foul. It looked like he was backing into Colo. We know Colo's got a tendency to go down and buy fouls as a centre forward, which I love about him. and he went down, and how he got up kind of told me it might have been a little bit different to what we saw. So from first viewings, I thought it was extremely harsh, couldn't see much in it, and then as soon as you see it up from the gantry and you see it from above, it was a naughty elbow. He recognised where Collar was going. Collar was making a run behind. The elbow comes up. There's absolutely no excuse whatsoever, and you cannot get away with that. It's a red card all day long, so there's no complaints.
Derby were already 1-0 at the time and threatening. I mean, how big of an impact did that have on the game for you? Do you think Derby would have gone to win it anyway, or?
You're asking a very tough question. I thought in the first 45 minutes there wasn't much between them. Derby had the better chances. They got the goal. We can see how quickly a game can change with one moment, one incident, one bit of luck. It can flip completely in the second half. That decision just put it into the advantage into our court, and it was up to us to let the game slip or to make the most of it and be professional and go on and win the game. The big point for me as well was the first minute into the second half where we got the goal. When you get that second goal, the cushion's there, and there's a little bit of breathing space, and there's always that chance you can catch teams on the counter. In the last 15, 20 minutes, there was 2 or 3 really good opportunities on the counter. We scored, we won, but a couple of opportunities where we don't. And all together, professional, did what we needed to do, and we obviously got 3 points.
Yeah, Nathaniel Mendes-Lang at the centre of a lot of it. Again, your pick for player of the match, and there's something almost comical about the third to see. You very rarely see 2 players running through on a goalkeeper like that, but there is still work to do there, right? To execute and make sure you score from that position.
100%. There's a decision to make. Do you go alone? And you probably fancy Nat at that point. And he spots Barks, who's running alongside him. The weight of the pass, the timing of the pass, making sure there's not offsides. It was at a stage of the game where Leyton Orient were pushing men forward. They'd obviously had the goal that was chalked off with offside. They had belief that they could get back into it, and they were putting men forward. The set piece instantly just changed that, and it was a well-worked counter-attack. It was obviously open. The 2 players got up the pitch. The pass was fine, and obviously Box finishes comfortably in an open net. So it's a really pleasing third goal, and that was just the winner. That cemented the victory, and there was a couple of opportunities from that, but we didn't need them.
And let's get some more reaction from Brisbane Road. We can hear from Kane Wilson.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was. It started tough. Like it was a typical like League One game. It was windy, ball in the air, competing, and I thought Leyton Orient started well, but then we got the goal, then they got defending off, and then I think the game really opened up.
How important was getting that first goal when it's that kind of tight game, like you say?
It's massive. Like Sib's done really well, took it brilliant, and it just takes didn't take the pressure off because there's still like 70 minutes to go, 80 minutes to go, however long it was. But it's just nice because you get a foothold in the game, and then you can start to dictate it a little bit more.
What about your role in that goal? A few men around you, and you weaved yourself out at that little tight corner there, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to do it. Like I feel like we had to put our foot on the ball a little bit at that point. Like, so I just thought this time I'm not going to just kind of hook it. I'm going to try and put my foot on it. And lucky for me, like as a guy coming, like I was able to use a little bit of quick feet and get out and give it Sibs. And he done really well. Because I didn't realise, obviously from the angle I couldn't see if anyone was behind him. And Sibs is really good at that. He knows his spatial awareness. He knows what's around him. And he got on the half turn and got his shot off. It was good.
Yeah, that's what he does well. That kind of footwork's what you do well as well. Nice to see you both showing, the best of your abilities there. Yeah,
it's good. I feel like now it's when you start to get a little run in the team, it's nice. You can start to relax a bit and start putting like your best games out there, hopefully. So it's a new role for me, like in terms of a little bit forward, but like I'm loving it. Like I can't explain how much I'm loving it. It's like I'm thriving it. I feel like it brings out probably my best attributes because I'm not honest. Even though I can defend, my best attributes are going forward. So I'm enjoying it.
How much difference did the red card make? Obviously, you've mentioned it yourself, it opened the game up a little bit. Does it make it a little bit more difficult playing against 10 men in a way?
Yeah, for different reasons, it is a little bit more difficult, yeah. But I have to say, I feel like as soon as he got sent off, like me personally, it felt like you had that second longer on the ball because obviously they couldn't pressure because they had the extra man was behind them. So I feel like straight away it kind of opened the game up and it was positive.
Scoring straight after half time as well, was that the message in there at the break?
Yeah, I think us as the lads, we wasn't really too happy with the first half performance, to be honest, but we knew we had more in our locker, so we wanted to start the second half quick. We knew that Leyton Orient having 10 men would come out of a game plan, the manager had a chance to speak to them, so we kind of just had to gather together and we just said start quick, and luckily we got the goal and we had a few more chances where we could have maybe scored more than 3, so it was a good day.
Yeah, confidence seems to be flowing through the team. You could see it late on there. How much confidence do you feel in that dressing room at the minute with this run you're on?
Yeah, I feel like we're really starting to get some confidence and build that rapport with the fans. Like, it's massive. Like, they're there singing at the end. It's brilliant, really. And we always travel so well with the fans. So like, it's good that we're starting to build it, and they kind of give us the confidence. If I'm being honest, on the pitch, like they get behind us, and I got a chant that I can't say that I like when that they sing, but it's good, yeah.
Yeah, how much did you enjoy not only the goal celebrations down there as a group, but then also going over and clapping them at the end?
It's good. Like, there was not an empty seat at the end of the game, and like, it's a long way back to Derby, so to stay, and even though we were 3-0 up and clap us off meant a lot, so you just have to thank them.
5 wins on the bounce in Sky Bet League One, going into a busy Christmas period now. It's the ideal time to be in that kind of form, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is. Like, look, not started slow, but we started with maybe some problems, but now we're starting to really get into a groove, and I feel like that we were so close at the start of the season to kind of becoming what we are now, like high pace, a fast attacking team, and now you're starting to see it, so hopefully long may it continue.
That's Kane Wilson. Results from around League One today then. The big scorelines as far as Derby concerned. Stevenage winning 2-1 at Burton Albion, who did take an early lead there. And Peterborough beating Oxford United by 3-0. That one in particular has had a big effect on the promotion races. We'll see in a moment or two. Blackpool and Barnsley, the two sides just outside the top 6, they win as well. Cheltenham, the only team in the bottom 4 to pick up anything today. So this is how the table looks ahead of that Monday night game between Portsmouth, the leaders, and Bolton, who are the top 2. But Stevenage now only outside the automatics on goal difference. Peterborough climbed to 4th. Derby climbed to 5th. Oxford dropping from 3rd to 6th this afternoon. And as you can see, the Rams now 6 points behind Portsmouth, with a game in hand, I should say. Bolton just 3 points ahead of the Rams as well. Leyton Orient don't lose too much ground at the bottom of the table. They helped by the fact that no one in the bottom 4 won today. Cheltenham, as I say, the only side to pick up a point, but they are still bottom of the standings. And that's all from us for now. If you want more reaction to today's game, it'll be on the website for you, dcfc.co.uk. Don't forget the Derby Debrief is also available now as a podcast. Search for the official Derby podcast if you want to subscribe. That's it from me, Box, and the RamsTV team. Bye-bye for now.